Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of the Examiner Gamer Podcast. I am your tired host, as always, Tristan, fresh off the whole E3 train.
Go for you?
It was tiring, and as you heard, I am joined by Lauren.
Hey guys.
Today is going to be a huge wrap-up of everything E3. We're going to get just all the news wrapped up. I'm going to talk to Lauren.
Super wrapped.
See what her thoughts on the show was, and give some afterthoughts and all that. I did some videos, post things, after they just happened, but now I'm thinking, afterthoughts, did I really like
it's
that?
It's had time to settle, you've thought about it,
yeah,
it over.
Is that even cool? And we'll get into that. And then for the game ideas, we're going to basically talk about,
more about E3.
More about E3, things that, we didn't see that we wanted to see, or how each press conference could have been improved. But for now, I'm going to go through a quick couple of games, and Lauren has a few too. So let me just jump right into what I've been playing. So first up, we got, I actually played Splatoon, and that is a interesting game. It's actually pretty cool. It's a cool aesthetic, the whole squid thing. A very pretty game for the Wii U.
It looked pretty, nice bright colors. I'm like a kid, I'm like, ooh, bright colors.
Just
I can relate to this.
Just like the announcement trailer last year for the game. It looks like a Nickelodeon show. It's
yeah, exactly.
Just especially the GAC green and the
yeah.
gacky Nickelodeon
that,
orange.
Pink.
It's really cool, and the mechanic of jumping into the ink as a squid and filling up your stuff. It's really cool. The campaign is actually interesting. It's a lot of floating islands and just trying to get to the end and kind of there just for a training. And the multiplayer was I haven't really been able to jump into it, but first impressions of Splatoon are pretty cool. Also played a little bit of the Elder Scrolls Online Tamriel Unlimited, which came out last year, and they just came out this year for the consoles. And I checked it out on PS4, and people talked about it being, or people wanting it to be like Skyrim, but with friends. And just after playing about 3 hours of it, it's actually really good. It pretty much is Skyrim. There's no weird MMO auto battling. It's just you can be first person or third person. You attack people, and that's it. You just flail around. You have magic. I was a Templar. I think my class was.
Can you hit your friends?
You can do PvP, but I think you have to be with people. I don't think you can randomly just attack people. Not maybe the most impressive PS4 game, definitely. Just think about it. It looks just like Skyrim, so not that much better than that. But it's actually pretty fun. I was very surprised how cool it was. And it's free. There's no subscription model at all. So getting into some stuff that we both played. So I talked about The Witcher in the last thing. I sped through it and talked to Shay about it. So what are your brief impressions on The Witcher?
This is my first Witcher game. I have Witcher 2, which I bought pretty much at the same time. So I've been kind of playing them simultaneously. I like it. It's fun. It took me a little bit to get used to the combat. And now I just pretty much spam the fire and the quick attack, but yeah, I like it. It's a really pretty world. A little morbid, lots of hanging corpses, but pretty.
Yeah, it's crazy beautiful.
Yeah, and my weather I think was a little broken, but after one of the patches, it started working again. So I finally got rain. Though now sometimes it will be raining, but there's actually no rain falling. And the only way I found to fix that is to actually shut off the PlayStation and start it up again.
There's so much wind in this game. There's constant wind.
So
there's never not wind. Even inside of a house, there's somehow wind.
I was up north a couple weekends ago on the lake, and a storm was coming in, and the trees were blowing, and my first thought was, wow, this is just like in The Witcher. Not oh wow, a storm's coming in. No, this is like The Witcher.
This is just like a video game.
Yeah, except real life. But I think that just shows
a very 80s mentality.
How good of a job though they did making it.
There's never not going to be an open world game that doesn't have the whole open world jank to it. Mm-hmm. I talked about this with Shay, which is just an awesome game, but you gotta expect the open world jank normal things glitches, but nothing game breaking really.
No,
so
I mean,
you gotta be kind of forgiving, but for everything it does right, it does way right. So.
Yeah, and
all the quests are so cool. Yeah, everything is connected.
I just finally started doing main story quests because I got sidetracked by all these random side quests, and they all have a story. They're not just go fetch quests. They're actually a little bit of a story.
You said you started the Red Baron stuff. Did you get to a Ciri?
Yes, I did a Ciri section.
Okay. Doesn't she look her eyes are like bleeding ink. Like constantly.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I love her like outfit with like the random middle buttons undone. It's like whatever.
Everyone's red buttons. I hate changing armor for Geralt because sometimes she looks so
dumb.
stupid. Yeah.
I am like, oh, this armor's great. I put it on. I'm like, I look like a clown, and went back to the less good armor because I just couldn't handle it.
I couldn't handle the cutscenes. Yeah. Good times. Also, the two of us have played very briefly Lego Jurassic World. Yeah. I basically got it to kind of get a feel for it. Like I kind of play every Lego game, but like not a lot, just because like they're all the same. And this is a Lego game. Yep,
that's exactly what it is. I bought it. I'm enjoying it. I've played all the Lego games, and it really so far hasn't built anything new on top of them, but it's
You can be
fun.
A dinosaur.
You can be a dinosaur, I guess that's true.
And then lastly, I feel terrible about this because I somehow have been waiting for this game for such a long time.
9 years.
Got this Final Fantasy 15 Episode Disque demo with my review copy of Type 0. I got swept up in playing Type 0, obviously, for Examiner, and then afterward, I just got caught up in something else. I think that was around the time when I had like 1,000 indies on my plate, so I couldn't really get into it. Now that they updated it, and it's kind of a little bit of a summer lull at the moment, except now that I have Batman sitting on my mantle that I haven't been able to play. But next episode, I'll definitely be talking about Batman. But I'm like, I'm going to jump into this. I'm going to sit down and play this game, especially after E3. Like, I actually wanted to play this game. And holy crap, this game is so good. This, like, demo is so meaty. I understand why they didn't give this...
It's so meaty.
They didn't give this away for free for a reason, because there's, like, so much content here. The thing that I'm worried about is...
I have not played since the patch, but I probably will be jumping back
I can't believe they, like, 2.0 patch.
I know, for a demo.
For a demo.
Which just means the game is never coming.
It just makes me so worried that this is actually the game. This is all they have of the game so far. They made cutscenes and then this game. And it's just... The gameplay is really good.
It's a really fun combat system.
And the names are stupid. Pronto. It sounds like they're saying Bronco. I guess.
And I can't think of the other two.
They're a sexy boy band.
They're like a J-pop band.
This is definitely one for the ladies. So to everyone that was like, everyone had their infatuation with lightning, and now everyone can have the Noctis and Toctus and Requiem and
this game was announced when I was in high school, and I was super excited for it for the cast. And now I'm an adult and I've matured, and it still looks good though.
Yeah, it just makes me want to have the game, and it wasn't at E3. It was like a brief trailer that they've already basically shown footage of, and they'll probably talk about it at the Tokyo Game Show. That's pretty much a Tokyo Game Show game, kind of, but it's really cool. It looks very pretty too. It's
gorgeous. I like the leveling up system with the camping. I like all the random like Coleman merchandise placement.
Yeah, it's weird.
And I like the weird like you're wandering around and it's like a fantasy game, and then you get to an area and there's like a Winnebago and like people are wearing like shorts and a tank top, and it's like a weird...
It's a really weird juxtaposition.
I like it though.
Yeah, but who knows when that game is actually coming out. But here's some stuff we do know, which is E3, so let's take a break and come right back with some news. Alright, time for the news, E3 edition! Woo! Alright, so I'm going to go through all the days basically in a row, and I have 30 games here I want to talk to you about, 30 games and 30 subjects, based off of everything in the press conference, your reactions, and a more in-depth conversation, except for just me giving like a reaction like I did last week. So, let's start off first with Earthbound Beginnings, which is a localization of the NES first Mother game that they released out of nowhere at the Nintendo World Championship. They're like, hey, guess what? This game is out right now. And I was like blown away that one, that they had it, two, that it wasn't Mother 3.
Yeah.
But it also got me excited because maybe they are going to make Mother 3. It's cool, but that game is not looked back on fondly because there's like an English translation.
I like never heard of it until you talked about it.
People want Mother 3. This is such a troll thing to do. It's like, great. That same day, basically the only thing I really want to talk about is Fallout 4, which I was so right that this game is releasing this year. Yeah, so what did you see? You saw the trailer.
I saw the trailer.
So, off the bat, people are very negative on how it looks.
It's a Bethesda game. Like, have you played a Bethesda game? The game looked fine. The people looked weird.
Yeah, those games are never about, like, looking good to me. It would have been cool if it had been, like, blown away with, like, the Fallout thing.
Yeah.
But, that's another game we're going to have to forgive it for the open worldness.
The graphics are never... Yeah. I mean, I played Fallout 3 and New Vegas, and yeah, the graphics weren't anything.
So
like
the crafting system looks cool. I'm glad it's coming out on November 10th. Let's get into Xbox's conference, where the big thing they talked about, like, backwards compatibility. Though they're, like, very vague on it, where they're releasing them, like, 100 games this fall, and there's a list of them. And there's, like, 21 games right now that certain Xbox members can look at. And essentially, if you have the disc, you can pop the disc in, and it'll allow a client to download. And essentially, Phil Spencer, I think, talked with an interview with somebody, and I think how it works is the video game is called Xbox 360. So the Xbox One, no matter what game you're playing, thinks you're playing this game called Xbox 360. So no matter what you play, it just thinks that you're playing this game called Xbox 360, which is how they're able to, like, get around it. It sounds very weird.
I just understand the issue with backwards compatibility. Like,
I actually don't understand why people want backwards compatibility in the first place, because they're making all these remasters anyway.
They are, but they're not making remasters for everything you want, and not everyone wants to have two systems.
The one cool thing is you can, like, record and take screenshots.
Yes.
So that's the only thing that I wish that... I mean, I have a game capture device for people that don't.
Yeah, I don't.
Rise of the Tomb Raider was an okay-looking demo. It was just them climbing up an ice thing and then running. Nothing, like... I mean, it looks great, but nothing, like, crazy.
I'm excited for it. I like the first one, but I'll wait for it to come over to other systems.
Do you know what the release date is?
No.
Same day as Fallout. So, good luck to you, Tomb Raider. You're out of here.
People have been waiting for how long has it been? 8 years now? 6 years?
For a very long time. Yeah. The last Fallout 3 came out in 2009.
Okay. So. I could do the math, but I won't.
Or 2010. One of those. Either way, it's been a long-ass time.
Yeah.
So good luck to you, Tomb Raider. The thing that blew me away out of everything out of this press conference, though, was the HoloLens Minecraft demo. It is amazing. You have to look this up. Just look up Minecraft HoloLens demo,
really cool.
E3 2015, whatever.
At the same time, while it looks super awesome, I'm not really sure what the practicality is in playing Minecraft like that. Like, it looked really cool, but... It's like you've got one person who's, like... the master of the world, and then somebody else can be in the world, like, playing it.
Yeah, so, like, if I'm the Minecraft master and I made this world and I can just watch you running around, it's cool. It's as if, like, you know, if you just think about, like, Star Wars and, like, the holodecks, and it's like, oh, I'm getting, like, this actual, like, 3D image of someone talking to me, and, like, a 3D map.
You've got a DM for Dungeons & Dragons running the Minecraft
or if you think about, like, you're watching a Call of Duty match and you're just, like, spectating...
But for actual playing...
Yeah, it doesn't make sense for,
really
like, playing.
You really wouldn't play Minecraft like that.
It's just...
The technology, from a technology standpoint, it looks freaking amazing.
It's
wow.
It's gimmicky as hell, but it still, like, kind of blew me away.
Yeah, same.
Going on to EA, which was a terrible press conference.
It started good.
Started good with Mass Effect Andromeda with a trailer.
You have no idea how happy I was.
It was a cool trailer. And then they ended with Star Wars Battlefront, and they kept on saying, Star Wars, that... in 40 minutes, Star Wars in 25 minutes. This thing was sports, and mobile stuff. And I'll get into it in the game ideas how they could have, like, fixed it. The same can be said for Ubisoft. They had a cool beginning with The Fractured Butthole, which is a sequel to my 2013 Game of the Year, which was South Park. Then they showed some other stuff they showed at other press conferences, but not a whole lot otherwise. So, actually getting to Sony. First of all, we had The Last Guardian. Last shown in 2009. Cool for them to actually show it again.
And how long since Shadow of the Colossus?
Shadow of the Colossus actually came out in 2005.
Okay, so it's been 10 years since...
their last game, yes. Yeah. And I thought it was going to be the Fallout thing where they're showing it. I'm like, they're going to announce the release date. It's going to be this year. They said 2016 after the demo, which is like, okay.
That's broad.
That's very broad. I think they just want to have it broad so they can announce it at some other show, because there's so many shows now. Like, now they're in the summertime, There's PAX, there's the Comic-Con thing,
PAX West, PAX
there's
Australia.
the Gamescom in Europe, there's the Tokyo Game Show, then there's like the Paris Games Week, which is a thing apparently, which PlayStation is going to because they're not going to go to Gamescom. So many things, so something's going to be announced at something, and I'm sure they're like saving, they can only do so much at this one conference. Next, we have this game that I predicted, the only prediction I got right, which was Horizon Zero Dawn, which was Guerrilla Games' next game after Killzone, and it's like post-apocalypse where
it's so far post, like society's coming back around.
Things went bad, Plant took over the cities, and people are trying to kill each other like The Last of Us. This is like tribal people, like actually just trying to live in a normal, like trying to like come back. And there's like robot dinosaurs, so I have no idea what the hell that thing is about. But
and they're like hunting the robot dinosaurs with like bows and arrows and spears.
So how are they eating? I have no idea.
Yeah, they must eat plants.
Just eating on like a circuit board.
But like she like harvested something off of that one. She's like, oh, this will be full now, and like took it. So it's like
I'm assuming they have like energy, so they must have like some kind of like. Maybe they grow plants and they just need energy to like power something.
Yeah, but that looks cool. But hey, Lauren, let's stop beating around the bush.
Final Fantasy VII Remake. Yep. It's like a 2-minute trailer. Basically, the
whole thing. The guy's like, okay, it's here. You asked for it. It's here. Please stop bothering us.
Yeah, the promise has been made because the reason like Square Enix doesn't understand that they kind of announced it. They had that PlayStation 3 tech demo.
Yeah,
and because they did that. They led people on to think that they're going to make a remake. They're like, no, this is just a tech demo. Well, people, because they put that in the mind, if they didn't make that demo, no one would have wanted it because there's so many other... If they would have made it 8, people would have wanted the 8 remake. If they would have made it 9, they would have wanted the... It's just... They could have just made some weird thing like that...
They could have just made some...
You know that weird witch thing that they released last year? She had like a Coke bottle. It's called Agni's Philosophy.
Oh, yeah.
That's no game at all, to which we know. It's just a weird tech demo. It's literally called a tech demo. If they would have made something like that, people would have been fine. But because they made this PS3 tech demo, people are like...
Of a game that people loved.
Yeah. And now they're like, okay, fine, we're making it. This is after them, like, trolling people last year. They're like, this is actually the PC port. And they're like... What? No. This is for real.
I am excited, but I'm also a little nervous just because everything you read, they're like, well, we don't want to just improve the graphics. Video games have changed so much and we have to update the mechanics. I don't think that's what people want. Like, they want to play 7 with PS4 style graphics. They don't want to have the combat change. Like, I can't think of anything in 7 that I really think needs to be changed.
Random battles. They can change that.
You mean like having them on the world map?
Yeah. I wouldn't mind it if they just like redid a bunch of stuff and maybe it's more of a retelling than it is or whatever. Because they can definitely skim a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, they could skip some of that stuff.
And, I mean, that game is huge. So for them to, like, remake it, I hope they...
Then they just piss people off who want...
Well, no matter what, people are going to be pissed off. Guaranteed, even if it's, like, the best game ever. People are still going to be pissed off for one reason or another. But you know what? No one has to really be pissed off because that game's never coming out. So, it was a nice tease and a nice thought, but... The way that they make games is just like, it's far, far in the future, like 2020 at the earliest.
But right after this, after they had like a brief like indie thing, they announced Shenmue 3, which is like something that people have been clamoring for. I don't understand it, you don't understand it, but this is a game that people have been wanting for a long time.
And hey, if people want it, that's cool. I talk about Mega Man Legends all the time, and Lord knows nobody cares about that besides me and some other people. But I think they could have announced a HD of the first 1 and 2 to kind of get, like, pump people up to people that never played the games. Like, oh, and it's out right now. So, I mean, they could have improved on that. But we'll get into that a little bit later on, too. But good for the fans of Shenmue.
Uncharted 4 demo was pretty cool.
Pretty cool. I was hoping for, like, a cool story trailer. I love the one that they made for 3. Like, I'll still occasionally go back and watch it because it's just so epic. But
I kind of don't want to know anything about the story. I'm kind of like glad that they're just showing some gameplay, just because I think I just want. That's it. This is the last thing I need to see because like they've already shown like 2 or 3 big things in the thing, and I'm like, all right, that's all I need to see because the game is you playing the game.
Yeah.
All right. So Monday was an awesome day for press conferences, but it was so tiring. My arms hurt so much after that day. I posted so many screenshots and articles and whatever. And videos. And let's get to Tuesday with Nintendo and Square Enix and the PC conference. And not a lot of big stuff. First of all, Nintendo was mega disappointed because they had that micro one like the week before, and I'm like, oh, all the small stuff is out of the way, so we're gonna have some big stuff. No, they basically had a lot of stuff that they seemed like they were rushing for. They didn't have the Amiibo World thing. They had like no Amiibo support really in any of their stuff that they showed off. It's like, oh, this one comes with Amiibo and you can do some Amiibo stuff, but they don't have like the big game that I thought that they would be making.
But let's get into what they actually did show.
Did you see the Triforce Heroes?
I did. Which, cool if you know people who have a 3DS and game with
yeah,
them
it's
a lot.
like, I feel like this is going to be like an eShop download.
Like, so does the Metroid Prime Federation, fuck, whatever they're called. I'm sorry. I don't want to swear on this podcast. It's supposed to be more of a PG thing, but fuck that fucking game. That looks like a piece of goddamn garbage. It looks like Metroid babies, and I just want a goddamn side-scrolling Metroid game. Is that so hard to ask? God damn it, Nintendo.
Even like Fire Emblem, well, they finally named it in America. They're calling
No
it
longer
Fates. And it's coming out in 2016.
I mean,
no, it's If in Japan.
Oh, okay, so...
They just call it Fire Emblem here, and they called it If in Japan. And now they're calling it Fates over here, which is a better name than If. Because actually it's If ... That's the official name.
If's ellipses.
Not as crazy.
You and I are both excited for it, I think, but...
I'm excited, but I know what it's going to be.
Yeah.
All I want is it to come out now in 2016. They show more of the Fire Emblem Cross Shin Megami Tensei, which is actually called... Hold on here. Gene Ibun Roku #FE for probably Fire Emblem. So that's a dumb name. Just the hashtag part. Like, Genbi, Ibu, and Ruko could be like some... It could say something in it could actually mean something in Japanese, but hashtag Fire Emblem is retarded. I'm sorry. It's retarded.
It looked weird. I'm not...
The game looks cool.
It looks cool, but I didn't know... Like, I just kind of clicked on the trailer to watch it. I didn't realize what I was watching at first until, like, towards the end. I'm like, oh, this is that, like, Fire Emblem.
Yeah, because they named it a weird thing. It's like pop RPG, and I like that. It's very Persona more than like Shin Megami. Let's get into Square Enix real quick here. Their entire thing was like properly not rehearsed. There was not a lot of vibe in the room. They showed up Just Cause 3, which looks amazing. The trailer was like so amazing. All the Western stuff that they showed off actually looked pretty cool. It was very brief and, like I said, very hokey and just weird. But all the Western stuff looks pretty cool. Sort of the Japanese stuff, though it's just, again, with Final Fantasy VII, will we ever see it? Especially with this next set of games, which is like, let's not beat around the bush, let's just get Square Enix over with, because these are the two biggest things that they announced, really. They showed Kingdom Hearts Unchained, which is the Kingdom Hearts Chi game that I've been playing for so long time for the Japanese-only browser on Yahoo. Yeah. And they're actually coming over on mobile sometime, which is cool because...
Yeah, because you seem to like
I liked it a lot. I really did, but I'm just a Kingdom Hearts fan. I'll take anything I can get. So it's not so much...
I just couldn't be bothered to set up like a Japanese Yahoo account, so I will totally get it.
At least 20 hours in the game, if not more. Okay. And now I can like actually stop now that I know that there's an English translation coming over.
I'll totally get that.
Okay, let's get to the proper one, which is Kingdom Hearts 3. And it looks so good.
Gameplay trailer.
They showed some stories. That was Master.
I really need to replay Kingdom Hearts.
It's the Birth by Sleep Master Master Eriquis, and Ansem, or not Ansem, Xehanort.
Because I really have forgotten a lot of the lore.
And they basically showed. It looked like they showed Tangled Level, Twilight Town, and looks like Mount Olympus.
Yes.
And it looks like
the combat looks fun.
The combat looks so good. You're gonna summon Disneyland rides? The teacup ride? You have like a Pegasus? You summon a train? Right, oh my gosh, it looks...
yeah.
The
worlds, like, I mean, I thought they looked good at the time, but like I've been replaying one and it still looks good, but like seeing this game and like how big the area it's like, wow.
It looks insane. Like scaling the wall and like going after like what's that Titan called? It's just called Titan?
Hydra or whatever with the heads? Or...
No, the rock monster.
Oh, Colossus?
It's just a long time since I watched the Hercules movie. But you take like a train and you smash into them. Holy crap. Like, I was excited for 7, but this one seems like they're actually like, okay, we know we're messing up so much, and we know you want 15, but we also know you want this a lot, so please be excited for this. And they actually have like the English, which is like even more exciting because they actually have like, the English stuff in there.
Yeah, so like Haley Joel Osment and them had like said some lines.
Oh my gosh. And I guess Goofy technically, remember that a long time ago we talked about, he said it's coming out this year.
No, it's not coming out.
But what if it is? That Tokyo Game Show, they could be like, it's out. But they
Goofy's fired, but
yeah, Goofy's fired,
and
but
his PlayStation account is locked. But
you will notice that I'm not going to PC because that was a train wreck, and there's nothing cool to talk about there. So we're going to take a quick break here, and then we're going to come back and give some ideas about how we think that these press conferences should have been cooler, or what we wished would have been there. Hey everybody, it's your host the most, it's Tristan. Are you liking the show so far? I really hope you are. I can't stress this enough, I really want to hear feedback. So drop me a line on YouTube or on my Examiner page, anywhere you feel like it. Let me know what you like about the show, what you don't like, what you want to see added. And of course, if you want to support me, you can always subscribe to the YouTube channel, as well as follow my writing on Examiner.com. That's EXAMINER, Examiner.com. It's the place to go for everything you want to know. Check it out. Now, back to the show. Alright, now for a kind of weird rendition of the game ideas. So, I'm going to go through every press conference again, and basically, we're going to talk about the exact same stuff for another 50 hours. No, I want to go through things that I wish would have been there, or how these things could have improved, basically. Even if they're good conferences, there were some things that were missing. So, for Bethesda, the pretty much big things they had were the demos that started off with Doom, and then the ending with Fallout. They showed the trailer for Dishonored, and they showed the trailer for Battlecry. But it would have been cool to see, like, actually demos of each of those games. Not a huge thing, whatever. Microsoft... They've been showing Fable Legends for like a long time now, and they haven't really played it really anywhere. I mean, it's on the show floor, so people will give their impressions, obviously, but it's like it's free to play. I don't understand how a big game like that can be free to play. Like, how can you... What's the transaction? Are you, like, making hats? Is there, like, a story to it? Is it just, like, a multiplayer thing? Is it, like, a MOBA? I just don't understand what it is. We kind of talked about this already, how we wanted it to be, like, clear messaging in the backwards compatibility. Or for them to be, like... They said for the Xbox certain members, like, you can play 21 games right now, but there wasn't, like, a big, like, you can play this game right now, like, a really huge game. It was, like... They didn't show Scalebound, which was the Platinum game that they announced exclusively last year. I don't know if you remember, it's, like, a guy wearing, like, Beats by Dre. It looked like fighting, like, a dragon.
Yep.
But they said that was going to be at Gamescom. I think they said that Inside was going to be at Gamescom. Inside's the indie game from the same team that made Limbo.
Oh, yeah, you told me about that.
Nothing about that. Crackdown was also supposed to be at Gamescom, but they didn't have anything on that, and they just had a trailer last year. So, I think it could have been improved a little bit if they would have showed those games, but they're like 2016 games anyway, so showing it later in the summer is like it's a good idea.
I mean, Gamescom's not that far away.
No, it's like August something, and then like Tokyo Game Show was in September. EA, so much, a lot of sports.
It's like you make other games, or maybe you don't anymore.
They know that people like their sports games, but the people that play the sports games aren't people that watch E3.
Yeah. They're casual gamers more.
They had...
Or they get
Pablo,
really into their sport.
or not Pablo. Pele. I said Pablo Escobar. They had Pablo Escobar on stage. He came with a big...
I love Pablo Escobar.
Big cocaine truck. Is he alive? He, like, died a long time ago, right?
I think so.
Okay. My ignorance is bliss. Pele is, like, he's a living legend, but he's also an old man, and I don't think he understands what video games are. He was just, like, going on and on. It was, a lot of sleep. There's a They made a big deal about them making a Minions game. As in the...
A big deal?
They had a huge deal on Minions. They also announced, like, a collectible card Star Wars game. They spent a lot of time on mobile stuff, and the energy was just draining out of the room, and they're like... Mobile. Star Wars is coming. Just be patient. Don't leave. Please don't leave. For the love of God, please don't leave. Yeah. Ubisoft was pretty cool. They're the only ones that had like pretty much all live demos, like
that's pretty
multiple,
cool.
like multiplayer live
people
demos.
Really want to see.
It's really cool to actually see the game in action, and it was cool. It was they had some weird like talking, like the Division stuff they showed was like weird, like hey, I can't come and play right now. It's like, oh, should we get this? Like, yeah, this is cool. We should. It was just like weird talk that no one would ever talk in a multiplayer game.
Very scripted.
Very hokey. They had Jason Derulo come on stage to Just Dance, and it was stupid. And they interviewed him afterwards. Angela Bassett came on stage to talk about how she's in Rainbow Six Siege, and that was weird. they interviewed this one guy dressed up like the main character from Assassin's Creed Syndicate, and he was mega awkward. Sony, we talked about. I think they should have had like some Shenmue 1 and 2. Like right now, you can get it. They should have more Project Morpheus like details, more details than Last Guardian for it to be. For it to, you scared me.
That's how I feel about more details.
For it to be like dark for 2009, 6 years. Yeah. For it to be dark for 6 years, and for them to not be like,
and just basically show the same stuff.
The reason why this has gone for so long, we've been working very hard. It's coming out soon, we promise. You should have just kept it in the dark, just like Fallout 4, until it was ready to go. Because now you're just getting people excited again. Because it might still not come out.
It's another 6 years.
It might miss another E3, and it'd be like, "Where's Last Guardian?" Then maybe KG again, and be like, "Oh, what? I don't. It's. You saw it last year. What more do you want?" It's like there's like nothing for Vita.
No, Vita is dead, and that makes me really sad.
The only thing that's coming out for is the indies, which is cool. All three of us, you, me, and Shay, all wanted more PS2 games on the store and having like compatibility with the Vita. They could have had something where like. They don't even have to make a new game for the video. All we want is like
we'll buy the old games again. I have already given you money for this game. I will give you more money for this game to play it again on my handheld.
Laura, we're part of the problem with so much stuff. Some missing stuff that they kind of like announced before the show was like Hellblade, which is the sequel to like Heavenly Sword or pseudo sequel. Let It Die is the new Suda 51 game. They didn't have that again. They didn't have David Cage's new game. They didn't have God of War, which I predicted would be like a reboot. They didn't have Mega Man Legends, which is my idea for Sony to give somebody money, but I guess they're giving money to make Shenmue. So those are the things that I wanted for Nintendo. No huge Amiibo support. No Mother 3. Nothing about Devil's Third.
No Zelda.
Nothing about Zelda Wii U. No actual Metroid. Some bullshit Metroid game. Reaching the bottom of the barrel for quick turnarounds while they're working on NX. This solidifies that they're killing the Wii U. The Zelda is not going to be for the Wii U. It's going to be for the NX, or it's going to be a combo thing, just like the other... It really did feel like they're scraping the bottom of the barrel. Same thing with like the 3DS, and they didn't show anything new 3DS.
I was really expecting like a new 3DS game being this is exclusive to the new 3DS. I don't know if Hyrule Warriors is. They haven't really said, so I'm thinking it isn't.
I think they would have said you could only play this because they would have had like a thing. Yeah. I mean, the trailer showed it was on a new 3DS, but they didn't say you have to have this.
I would think they would have.
But you think they would because...
I don't regret buying it. I'm happy I bought it. I'm enjoying Xenoblade, but I really think they just made it for Xenoblade.
That's Zelda for sure.
Xenoblade was like a $240 game.
Oh, hell no, is that new Zelda a new 3DS exclusive? Because if they did, there's no possible way.
That Triforce.
There's no way that they could only be played on that because of just like it doesn't look like it's pushing any kind of boundaries. Square Enix, they could have had more details on everything. Everything was like so vague. They could have had more of a rehearsal that seemed like really weird between the Western and the Japanese way. I didn't tell you the worst thing about the show. It ended with the president of Square Enix coming out. He talked in English. He definitely should have had a translator. He was so nervous, and it's. I don't want to. When people don't speak the native language, I don't want to pin him for that. But he was talking about this new studio they call. It's called like Tokyo RPG Factory, and this new game called Project Setsuna, with all these people working on it, just some art without anything at all. It was a meaningless announcement because it's nothing. It means nothing. It's like we're making a new game. Great. Wait for it. This is clear. Another thing was just like, you didn't need a press conference because you had nothing. The only big thing that you had was 7, and you already had that at Sony. The other thing was freaking Kingdom Hearts, and you didn't need a press conference for this. You could have showed this at Sony. A weird vibe for the whole thing. But anyway, so he announced the Project Setsuna, and he's like, and now I would like to invite everybody back up on stage. They played the music that they've been playing through the entire show on loop. You could time it when it like re-looped again. All it was is and blah 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 and blah 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 blah. Like 11 people in a line. You gotta look up this video, or at least it's on YouTube. So all you gotta do is like look up to the last second and have them all come on stage. There was nothing else. There was like he announced everybody and they bowed. It's like it's cool. It's like you want to. It just
acknowledge your
didn't
team,
work.
But yeah.
And for PC, this is my notes for the PC conference. Everything could have been improved.
The guy was charismatic. He's from something that I have no idea about. He's probably some YouTube person or some website person that I never heard of. He was fine. It was basically set up. The stage was like Conan, Jimmy Fallon, whatever. There was a host desk, there was a couch, and there was a chair. He would invite a developer on. He would interview them. They would show the game in a trailer. They would walk off stage. A new person would come on. And it was like these really intimate interviews. Not great for a press conference. Nothing explosive. Again, 3 hours is a long time to hold people's attention.
Yeah.
They had some new stuff that was like big, I suppose, for like some PC stuff, but like awful, awful, awful. And my journalistic integrity made me continue to watch it. I really wanted to shut it off. There was nothing. I was like, what if they had like Half-Life 3? But I was like, no effing way are they gonna have it Half-Life 3. There's
but
nothing.
what if?
And that was another EGP in the books.
You don't want to go over it one more time?
We should do a review of the review
our podcast.
of the review. Okay, this is a mega E3 episode. I am done talking about E3.
I am done somewhat talking about E3.
Next time I have Shay on, I'm not going to be like, hey, what did you think of E3? I might give him a platform of like a minute for him to say something like, this is what I think about E3, and whatever he gets to after a minute. We're
still going to be talking about E3 after like Gamescom is over.
Gamescom. That's probably going to be like, Gamescom was sucky because they had better things at this, because of this, and whatever.
So.
All I know is there's a lot of cool games coming out, and this fall is going to be amazing. When it gets closer to August, between August and September, we'll do a huge like fall preview to get.
Let's hope they don't push everything back to next year and ruin Christmas.
Yes, the one thing that could be pushed back is like Tomb Raider, because like, I'm sorry, but like,
yeah, good luck with fall.
Yeah, Tomb Raider is probably going to be amazing.
But people have been waiting for Fallout. Like, people like Tomb Raider, but it hasn't been that long.
Don't be a dummy. But yes, that was an episode. You can catch all my stuff as always. I have videos on here. I have a special exclusive podcast that you can pay for. Help us out. Help us get new equipment. Help Lauren get a new toilet or a house to put the toilet in. Joking aside, you can read all my stuff in Examiner and all kinds of stuff. Lauren has a Twitter that you'll never find.
Yeah, at Lauren Sturck. Good luck finding that.
Okay, that's.
If you want me to complain about TV shows getting canceled, that's where you go.
Yes. Otherwise, that's that. So, what an episode. But we got the E3 out of the books, and now it's time to look forward to the million press conferences of the summer and to get some new stuff. Next time, we'll be doing stuff. So
doing stuff.
Yeah. You know what? I think we will do a review. So what did you think of this? We're going to do a commentary as we're listening to the podcast. Okay. It's dumb. Goodbye.
Bye.
Boom, ba-jack, boom, boom, ba-jack, boom, ba-jack, boom, boom, ba-jack, boom, ba-jack, boom, boom, ba-jack, boom, ba-jack, boom, boom, subscribe, boom, ba-jack, boom, boom, ba-jack, boom, ba-jack, boom, boom, ba-jack.